Ruben Amorim's Manchester United plans are already taking place. An identity and a style has been seen, something that United fans were crying out for under Eric Ten Hag. The first time United have won by 4+ goal margin since that opening game versus Leeds this season, where they had Ollie and announced Rafael Varane. Every fit Manchester United player has started in one of Ruben Amorim's opening 3 games. He's rotating the squad, stopping the favouritism, trying out different things. The United attackers that weren't scoring goals have now got 8 goals in their last 3 games. And Manchester United have an identity. And one thing people are forgetting about Manchester United is how young that squad is. Ahmad, 22. There's the likes of Harry Amas to come through, Seko Kone, Obi Martin, Godbuka Konki, Bendito Mantato, Ama Ibrahimo. There's the youth. Garnacho is 20, Maino is 19, Yoro's just turned 19. That is such a young side. Even De Ligt's young, 25. Leach, young, 26. Delo, young, 25. Xerxes Agate, 23 years of age. And Ruben Amorim has taken over this young Manchester United squad, shown us that actually there's 7 or 8 players that actually could play in Ruben Amorim's system and be quite good players at Man United. There's some decent players here, and with the right recruitment here and the right recruitment there, United could be building something pretty good. Even rivals have come out, started talking about Amorim and how you can see a system in place, and rivals are starting to fear. So in today's video, we're going to break down 5 things that we saw in that game versus Everton and we've seen from Ruben Amorim so far to show Man United fans about their identity, what's being built, and why Amorim is different, and why people are starting to fear Amorim in terms of rivals. And just talk about United, the project, the plan, the transfers, the recruitment, what could happen going forward. Now, mine and many other people's biggest frustration under Eric Ten Hag was the misprofiling of players. He was using Kobbie Mainoo to do stuff out of possession and Agate to do stuff in possession when it should have been the other way around. He was also using Xerxes the same way he'd used Sebastian Haller, and Xerxes is not a transition player. He was using Xerxes the same way he used Højlund, and the reason we brought in Xerxes is because he offers something different to Højlund, to the point that he could play with Højlund. Amorim said this: Xerxes played in a position that suits him. He was like a false 9. That helps him. We try and put players in the position that allows them to shine. He said on Xerxes, I need all players for a sequence of matches, and he is one of them. I try to help my players by putting them in good positions for their characteristics. Today, it would have been difficult for Højlund to be in a duel with 2 central defenders, so we try to put them against a profile that are less comfortable against. Josh did a good job, 2 goals, good for the confidence, but more important, the performance. He fought for every situation. It was a good day for him. And he spoke about playing Xerxes because this was a game for Xerxes. But he also said with Xerxes, he's more of a false 9 and he wants to play to his characteristics. Basically, Ten Hag had Xerxes playing transition football, and when Xerxes plays transition football, when he's not quick, he's not going to thrive. Ruben Amorim said, no, we're going to have runners around Xerxes, and Xerxes is going to be the one dropping deep and linking it up, and Rashford's going to be the runner to run off Xerxes. Ahmad will also come from the right flank. And what did Xerxes do? Played a really good ball into Ahmad, played a really, really good ball into Rashford. And Rashford himself has 3 goals and 2 starts under Ruben Amorim, and I don't even think he's at his very best. But with Marcus Rashford, you play him closer to goal where he can get shots off and he will score. 4 shots today, more than he had in the opening 4 games of the season under Eric Ten Hag. So this match today had more shots than he did in the first 4 matches under Ten Hag last season. He's got 3 goals and 2 starts under Ruben Amorim, because whether you like Marcus Rashford or not, he's more clinical than Garnacho. If Marcus Rashford's allowed to get in areas where he's close to the ball and can have a shot, he will score. Even if he doesn't have his best game, if you just give him 1 or 2 shooting opportunities, he will score. And that's what Marcus Rashford did today. You give him an opportunity to shoot, he will score. And Ruben Amorim's realised that, rather than Eric Ten Hag playing him as basically a right midfielder, it's just being able to profile players correctly. Even players like Amad Diallo, that I don't think is a right wing back, Ruben Amorim has done it so well with having Masraoui at the right back, so Amad really has the freedom to basically be a winger in that right wing back role. Marcus Rashford scored twice in a Premier League game for the first time since February 2023, just to show you, the difference that Amorim had made coming in. But it's not just about Ruben Amorim profiling players correctly. I could go on about it for ages. Rasmus Højlund was profiled correctly, it wasn't asked to wrestle, this and that. But it is also about how young this United side is. And this is why I think United fans should be excited. Lenny Yoro is 19 years of age. He's going to come into that squad. For me, he'll be the long-term central centre-back. But I think he will take De Ligt's place. De Ligt is 25, Delot is 25, Leach is 26, and Mazraoui's just turned 27. So all of these players have a good 3 more seasons in them, which means they could be part of a title-winning side at United, because in the next 3 years, the goal is to win a title within 3 seasons under Amorim. Mena was 19, Agate is 23. People forget how young Agate is, and Agate is so important to the system. I will talk about that maybe in another video, but I think watching United from these 33 games, a left wing back is needed because Delot lacks in the final third, and also another midfielder with Agate's legs, because you can notice the difference with Casemiro and with Eriksen. And then in attack, you've got Amad, who's 22, only just, Garnacho, who's 20, Højlund, who's 21, Xerxes, who's 23, and Rashford, that is 27 years of age. So again, a very, very young players in attack that can all improve under Ruben Amorim. And when you actually realise that Yoro, De Ligt, Delot, Leach and Mazraoui could all play Amorim ball and be part of the long-term plans, that's 5 players. Luke Shaw's even doing quite well, 6. I've even forgot to include Mason Mount. I've actually forgot Mason Mount. How old is Mason Mount? I knew I forgot someone. Mason Mount. How old is Mason Mount? Must be 25. Mason Mount's 25. So I've completely forgot Mason Mount, but he's going to be in the plans. You've got Mason Mount, Mena, Agate, Amad, Garnacho, Højlund, Xerxes, Rashford, Mazraoui, Yoro, De Ligt, and Leacher that are all under 27 and all good enough to be part of Ruben Amorim's plans moving forward. And by all good enough, I mean they all could be good enough to be part of the plans moving forward. And he already has plans for academy players. Ruben Amorim has included 16-year-old defender Godwill Kokonki in his first ever match they scored to face Ipswich this afternoon. Kokonki, who joined United at just 5, signing a scholarship deal in the summer, has impressed the Portuguese coach in training. This is the 6'4" monster in defence. And if you look at Carrington and United's under-18s, 9 games, 9 wins, 43 goals scored, 4 goals conceded. This is a side with Godwill, Jim Thwaites, who's been scoring the free kicks, Zach Bauman, a fantastic midfielder, Dan Armour, a very good defender as well, Tyler Fletcher, and obviously Jack Fletcher's moved to the 21s. You've got JC Fitzgerald, unbelievable talent that's so versatile. Shea Lacey, who's had injury issues, but probably the best of the best talent-wise. Ama Ibrahimovic, that's been fantastic. Gabriel Benchiri, scoring goals. Bentito Mantato absolutely suits Amorim's system because can be the wing-back potentially. Obi Martin, Scanlon's been getting the goals. And then, as he said, Ethan Wheatley, Harry Amash, Jack Fletcher in the under-21s. Ethan Ellis, Ethan Williams, also very good players. United have something special going on. There's even the likes of Dan Gore, although he's had a lot of injury issues as well. There's so many talented players in the academy that Ruben Amorim can bring into this moving forward. And then you've obviously got Sekou Kone and Obi Martin, who we brought in the summer. They could be big parts of Ruben Amorim's plans. Obviously, Sekou Kone has just picked up an injury, but his gown coverage. Obi Martin's got the physical characteristics that Ruben Amorim will like. It's very exciting. Bring us into the third thing I've noticed, and that is that United have an identity. Ruben Amorim is implementing his style of play now rather than waiting for signings and adapting. Ruben Amorim said in his press conference after the Bodo Glimt game, or actually it was after the Ipswich game, that it's a bit of short-term pain for long-term gain. He said there's no point in him trying to get the best out of the United players now and then next season implementing his system, because next season he'll be worse off for waiting to implement his system and you won't see progress. He said his goal is to implement his system now, even if it means that United don't get as good results because he doesn't have the players for a system. But if he implements a system now, the players will learn a system. He will also learn who can and can't do it. And then he can move on and adapt, is what's said by Ruben Amorim. And I like that. And we're seeing his system being implemented. We're seeing the 3-4-3, but the system can change to a 4-4-2. I was sceptical about Amad at right wing back, but when you've got Mazraoui as the right centre back, that means that Amad is basically a right winger. It is very much keep the ball, build out from the back. Sandro Martinez, the passes he's been playing has been incredible. It's the wing backs have got to get forward, get high, Delot, Amad got into so many dangerous areas. It's creating space through the movement of the 10s. It's finding space and playing that final ball through. There's an identity, there's a style, and we're scoring 4 goals and playing good football. And while it wasn't perfect versus Everton, the first 30 minutes, Everton were the better side. Bodo Glimt, we were good for a little bit, and then they got back in the game. Ipswich wasn't perfect. This is a new system. The players are learning. They haven't had time in training, and for the most part, we're seeing something good. And this is how I felt. And this is what I said. If recruitment succeeds in bringing in players who can meet Amorim's physical demands for 2025, we'll have a formidable team. The football is impressive with a clear identity and attackers finding the net. However, a left wing back and a midfielder with legs is essential. If Agada gets injured, there's no one that can replicate his impact. 100%, we need his legs. It made a difference when he came on. It's only been 3 games, but we're seeing lots of goals, effective rotation, proper player profiling, and a real system. After so many years, it finally feels like we have something to be excited about. And of course, it's early days. There's room for improvement, but every area that I think isn't working under Amorim is due to the lack of physicality in the squad. The midfield got overrun at times because of the lack of physicality. Left wing back quite wasn't there. Defence has struggled in transition. But Ruben Amorim knows that if you add a Belieber to the midfield, Alphonso Davies to the wing back role, and then you go and get a real athletic left centre back because it probably is a bit early for Kokonki, there's something there. And if Ineos get recruitment spot on and bring in an attacker, a midfielder, a centre-back and a left wing-back, at least those 4 players with the right physical attributes for Ruben Amorim the ball that are technically good, boom. You look at Liverpool, the reason they're top of the league, because their recruitment has been fantastic when you look at the physicality and the technicality combined. And then if you look, as I said, about the profiling of players, on Amad Diallo, H said this perfectly. He said, are we going to chill out on Amorim's choice to play Amad wing-back? He owns the right side on and off the ball. He has Masraoui as his coverage behind him. And whilst he has responsibilities, that position gets him many more touches on the ball. He can build, carry, shoot, create, just to get involved as much as possible. While with players in close proximity to him, they will only get better combining with him. And it's true, I was sceptical. I want to see Amad in the front 3. I think if we're going to play a side which has wing-backs that are attacking, like Leif Davies for Ipswich, Alphonso Davies, I would want Amad in the front 3, because then he doesn't get pinned back as much. But I think if we're going to dominate possession, then Amad in the wing-back role, it works quite well. And as said here, you know, one thing we've noticed under Ruben Amorim is that United are scoring goals. Look at Sporting. Sporting had played 11 matches under Ruben Amorim and got 39 goals. 6 conceded. That was the most goals. Ruben Amorim was on track for most goals in 2024 with Sporting. Now he's left there, they're losing games. But you know that Ruben Amorim knows what he's doing. You know he's a good coach. His system is good. And you know that he can score goals. And the fifth and final thing I've noticed coming into this is I feel like the players are on Ruben Amorim's side. Did you see how happy the players looked? Did you see the vibes and moods in the dressing room? The players felt like they had their joy back because they're being rotated. They know. I think there was too much favouritism under Eric Ten Hag, where Amad just got shafted on the bench for 8 games for no reason. Ruben Amorim's come in, he's playing every single player. He's rotating every player, he's giving every player a chance. There's joy in the players because it feels like the manager isn't just going to shut them off. He's going to try them. He's actually going to make 4 subs by the 70th minute, get people off the bench. You're going to play. There's going to be involvement. And the players are happy. The players are buying into it. And it feels good. Anyway, let me know your thoughts down below, but I'm very happy. Thank you for watching. Bye.